and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a rather weird, but I haven't done one of these in a while, but it's a get ready with me. I am meeting my mom and a few other friends for lunch today, so I thought I would show you guys just the whole process of me getting ready, kind of like an updated makeup routine, if you will. So yeah, if you want to see how to get this look, then just keep watching. So what I've just done so far is all I've done is took a makeup remover wipe and I've wiped my entire face clean, so we have a nice fresh clean base to go off with. There's absolutely nothing on my skin right now, so I'm going to start out by taking a primer. With this pregnancy, I've noticed my skin has freaked out a lot all throughout this pregnancy. Some weeks I will be super oily, some weeks I will be peeling all throughout my nose, and I keep getting these little tiny whiteheads underneath my skin on my nose, so I definitely make sure I prime there and fill in all of those pores and stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on this primer. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer Matte. Even though I have oily skin, yeah, I do use matte products to help counterbalance that. Even though there is some dry patches in my skin, I do still use this matte, and I've decided to just kind of embrace the fact that I have oily skin. So on top of this, I do use a dewy setting spray, so it kind of just works together. I don't know how to explain it, but somehow it just works together to where my makeup stays in place nicely and I don't look like a total grease ball, even though I do use the dewy setting spray, if that makes sense. And the foundation I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse, and I'm in the color number 4 Nude, which is their light shade. And I like barely have any left in this jar, but I do has backup. So I used to love this foundation way back when I was a teenager, and just recently fell back in love with this. I found a little jar of it while it was on sale, and I just picked it back up, and I don't really remember why I stopped using this, but it is a good one. And it's like a super light to medium coverage. It is totally buildable if you are a full coverage type girl. You could definitely build up the coverage in this, and I like applying it with a brush. I do apply it with a beauty blender sometimes, but I much prefer a brush because it does give you a lighter coverage when you use a brush, and I don't want to look totally cake-faced. But here you can see the difference as to this cover. This side has the foundation on and this doesn't. The coverage on this is really, really nice, and I quite like this. So if you are looking for something that's not heavy, I definitely recommend this. And I wore this all throughout the summer too. I've had this one for a while. So I'm going to go in with concealer next, and this is the NYX Studio Photogenic Concealer, and this is in the shade CW03. So just kind of dot that underneath my eye, and I use the same brush I use for my foundation. I just use it in light circular motions, and I like barely hold on to this brush to just blend all that out. And then I like to set everything right away, and this is the Effect Cosmetics Translucent Loose Powder. This is their rice powder. So usually I took the sifter out of the container, so usually what I do is I just have the lid on the container and I flip it down and back and give it a couple little taps, and I usually only use what's in the lid, and that's pretty much good for my whole face. So I tap it on first, really make sure that I get my eye area, because if I don't, it's going to be a creasy, crepey mess. So for bronzer, I'm going to go in with this one right here, and this is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This is for their lighter shade, lighter skin tones. So this is number 01 Natural. So just take it and go all around the edges of my face, making sure that I go down the jawline as well, because you don't want that orange line that happens. You just want to put this anywhere the sun would hit you. So then for contour, I go in with these two, and I've hit pan on both of these, but these are two eyeshadows from Coastal Scents. This one right here is Brown Stone, and this is Timeless Taupe. And I just take my brush and dip it in both of those like once, and then I'll start contouring the hollows of my cheeks. And usually with whatever's left on the brush, I'll just kind of run down the sides of my nose just to give a little bit of a shadow. Now for eyebrows, lately I've really been loving using powder again. So I'm going to actually go into the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and I'm going to take the shade Snake Bite. This does have a shimmer in it, and you would think that using a shimmer in your eyebrows really wouldn't work, but with my the tone of my hair right now, the shade of my hair and everything, using this one actually works for me, but definitely use whatever you prefer. Okay, so for my eyes, I'm gonna go in to an oldie but a goodie, but this is the Urban Decay Vice 3 palette. And I'm going to start out with this shade, Downfall, and then I'll probably go over with Undone. No, I'm starting with the shade Downfall, and then I'll go in to DTF. I'll apply that in the crease as my transitional shade. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit now that we're getting to the eyes. So I'm just applying this in the high point of my crease as my transitional shade. Then I'm going to go in to DTF. Tap out the extra, and I'm going to apply that in the lower half of my crease. My heat has just kicked on. So I'm going to go into the original Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to take the shade right here, which is Enchanted, which is this really rich, dark green kind of shade. So I'm taking that on a tapered blending brush and only dipping the tips of the brush in that product. I'm holding it way back at the end, and I'm only going to lightly work this right in the outer edge of my crease line. Blending back and forth and in circular motions to get a really smooth blend going. And once there's less product on my brush, I'll start bringing it in towards the inner corner a little bit. But again, I'm still keeping it super low right there in my crease. I'm not going to bring it up too high. A little trick, if you find that it's gotten away from you, go back in with a clean brush and just blend all of that out. There's always ways to go back in, but I do want this to kind of peek a little bit over with my eyes open. So I am going to blend with my eye open just to pull that green up like ever so slightly. So I'm going to go back in with Downfall, which is the first shade we used, just to kind of go over everything and blend it all out. So for my eyelid, before I go in with the shimmer color I'm going to be using, I'm going to put down a shimmering base, and this is really going to help intensify the color and the shimmer of this. You could always use the concealer for this step, but I'm actually going to take the Kilato Cosmetics, this is their Astro Light See From Space highlighter. This is in a really pretty bronzy shade. Like I said, I am going to cover it up though. There's a hair on the wand. I am going to cover this up though, but I'm just going to take it with my finger. Then the shade I'm going to apply over top of that is this one right here, and this is Diva from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm going to spritz my brush as well with a little bit of Fix Plus. Any setting spray you have will work for that. And then I'm going to apply this right over top of that. Isn't that a gorgeous color? This has to be one of my favorite shades from the original Jaclyn Hill palette. You'll love it. Now, right here in the crease line where it got a little wonkified, I'm taking a clean brush and I'm just going to blend that. Since this isn't like a cut crease or defined crease look, you just want to take a brush and just blend it out, make it all smooth, make it look like you totally meant to do it. So I'm going to go back in with my fluffy brush just to sweep away any fallout that may have happened. And I'm going to go in on a flatter shading brush, and I'm taking DTF from the Vice 3 palette and applying that on my bottom lashes. I'm going to go ahead and line my eyes off camera because I have to be super close to the mirror to do this, because I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild their Kohl Crayon eyeliner, and this is Baby Got Black. So I'm going to do this off camera. So I went ahead and did my mascara and eyeliner off camera. I did use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I used 2 coats on both eyes. So I'm going to go in and highlight my face, and I'm using my all-time favorite highlighting palette, and this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting palette, and it comes with 4 beautiful shades in here, like a shimmering champagne shade, a blue, a green, and a little bit of a peachy kind of color. And you would think the blue and green would be really weird, but I'm actually going to use the green one today. The green one is called Wild Cosmos. So I'm just going to take my highlighting brush. There's something in my eye. So I'm just going to take that and apply that to the tops of my cheeks and on my temples. And you can see that it doesn't give like this like major green hue. It's still a really light and champagne-y kind of color. I absolutely love this palette, and it'll work on so many different skin tones. And I like to highlight before doing my blush, and I know that's super weird, but you'll see why. Then I highlight a little bit above my eyebrows with this, just so the light can catch it. I go down at the bridge of my nose. Not too much, because it kind of naturally happens. And then a little on the Cupid's bow, and a little right there on the chin. Then I like to take my powder brush and just go over my forehead and nose and lip area. Then while I still have that palette out, I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and this is called Sweet Peony. And that's gonna go on my brow bone as my highlight. And on that smaller brush, I'm going to take the green shade and pop right in the inner corner of our eye and blend that into the crease a little bit. Like that. Just so the light will catch our eye. Then for blush, I'm going to go in to one I haven't used in a really long time. I can't get it open. You might want to open it from the right side. I'm going to use this J.Cat Beauty Love Struck Blush Plus Bronzer, which it's just a blush, because one thing I have a beef with J.Cat, what they did was, there was an image of a cat in this blush, but because I've used it so many times, it's obviously flattened out, but the cat was a little bit of a darker, more copper. The cat was a more of a coppery, bronzy type color, but it was just an overspray, and it was not actually built into the blush, so this is now just the blush. But this is in the shade Love Struck, or no, Coral Dumpling. Sorry. So I'm just going to take that and apply that right to my cheekies. So once the face is done, then I'll go in with setting spray, and I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Spray. And fan that before you even open your eyes. Definitely fan and make sure your face is dry. And there you can see that it takes that matte finish we had, and it just does things to the powder. It helps melt the powder into your skin, so you don't look like a total cake face. It just looks together, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go do my hair and I will come back and show you the final look. So here's kind of what I have going on so far. As far as my hair goes, I did go get that cut like a few days ago. So I'm really happy with the way this came out. This is the lowest maintenance hair I've ever had in my life. Like seriously, love this cut. And the lady actually said, you know, obviously she saw how pregnant I was, and she said that this cut grows out nice. So even if I can't get back into the salon right away to get it trimmed, it'll grow out really nicely, which I really do like. And I can straighten this on like a Monday and be fine till like, you know, Thursday. And then obviously my hair will need washed and styled again. But it's like super low maintenance, which I absolutely love, because you guys know I hate doing my hair. I hate, like, there's just one of the struggles I have is my hair is just like, okay. So anyhow, that's what I have going on with my hair. As far as my lips go, I'm not entirely sure just yet what I want to do because my lips are so chapped lately. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put on just like a chapstick. All I did was wipe the foundation off my lips, so this is just natural lip color. But I wanted to go ahead and show you guys my outfit. So, for my shirt, what I have going on is just a regular, this was just a regular plus size shirt, and I took a black ribbon and tied it right underneath the bust line so you can distinguish between the boobs and baby. So yeah, and I just have regular maternity jeans on, so that's pretty much all I have. That's all I have going on in that regards. The necklace, this is from Lane Bryant, and it's one of those stackable necklaces. There was a 3-tier to it, but I went ahead and took off the first one because no matter, like, I had to wear a super low cut shirt in order for the first one to be seen. I just took it off and now it's just a 2. So that's what I have as far as jewelry goes. So yeah, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this. Happy 2019, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Don't forget, make good choices.